afternoon. It is Wednesday, October 2nd, and welcome to Spay Neuter Network Live. During the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about some of the exciting things going on at Spay Neuter Network and ways that we are helping the community and ways that you can help us. And I will discuss some timely topics, and we will, perhaps most importantly, answer any questions that you have and see how we can be of service to you. So we have a few things going on here in the month of October at Spay Neuter Network, and those are that October is Pet Wellness Month. So the in Pet Wellness Month, that's a month where we just pay attention to the things that are going on with our pets and the types of things that we need to do to keep them happy and healthy. And a lot of it is common sense, but a lot of it is stuff that sometimes we just need to be reminded about. So we may discuss some of that today. And let me go ahead and say that everything that all of the announcements that I discussed today are all on our website at spayneuternetwork.org. So you'll be able to go back and find anything that we talk about and any more information on any of the events that are going on. But October is Pet Wellness Month, and during October, I love this time of year. I love Halloween. And with Halloween comes some important things that we need to keep in mind with our pets. If you go to spayneuternetwork.org, you will find a list of Halloween pet safety tips there that will give you some good information about how to protect your pets this month with decorations and costumes and people trick-or-treating, and making sure that they are doing okay. Now, all of those tips can be found on our website, but I would like to stress a couple of things that always come to my mind this time of year, and that is that Halloween is a fun time, but it's also a time where some people get up to mischief. So it's important to keep your pets indoors on Halloween night, especially if you have cats, and even more especially if you have a black cat, because some people will do mean things to those animals. So we don't want that to happen. So make sure that they are well contained and indoors and in a spot where they can't zip out the door with all of the people that will be coming by the house and knocking on the door, and you're opening the door in, and then we don't want them to escape. And also, some dogs can be funny when they see people in costumes, and we don't want the dogs to be stressed, and we don't want to stress any people that are coming up to our house either. So make sure all the pets are nice and safe and tucked away inside the house where they can't get out the door and get themselves into mischief. Okay. During October Pet Wellness Month, one of the most important things that we can do to maintain the health of our pets is to make sure that they are vaccinated. So one of the deals that we have going on is our October special, where we will be giving $5 off of rabies vaccines for dogs and cats all month long. So be sure to, if your dog is or your cat is due for their rabies vaccination, this is a great time to do it because it's $5 less than it would be any other time of the year. We need volunteers. We have lots of things that are going on in our clinics. We have fundraising events and other special events, and we can use help. This is a great way to help Spay Neuter Network by volunteering, and it's a great way to give back to your community as well. There are so many things that go on behind the scenes for us to keep doing what we're doing to make spays and neuters accessible and affordable to as many people as possible, and wellness care available at an affordable cost for people. And part of the way that we can get all of that done is because we have people that are generous and willing to give their time as a volunteer to help us at our clinics, at our vaccine events, any other special events we have, and with any fundraising initiatives that we have. So if you are interested in volunteering, we would love to see your name pop up. Go to our website, and there is a link there for volunteering, and click on that, and let's see if we can get that process rolling. We would love to have you join us for things. There are some vaccine clinics coming up in October here in Fort Worth, in Dallas, and here where I am in San Antonio. At these vaccine clinics, we will be giving away our FVRCP vaccines to our cats and our parvo distemper vaccines to our dogs. So those are going to be free vaccinations that are essential to your pet's health that you'll be able to get at our vaccine clinics this month. So all these dates will be on the website. But if you are in Fort Worth, we will be having a vaccine clinic on October 12 and October 16. If you're in Dallas, we will have a vaccine clinic on October 23rd. And if you are here in San Antonio, our October event will be on October 26th. The locations and exact times can be found on our website, so be sure to check that out. We would love to see you there. And again, vaccines, our FVRCP vaccine for cats and our parvo distemper vaccine for dogs will be free at those events. Tomorrow, October 3rd at 4 p.m., we have a meet and greet event, our Paws and Pints event at Nova Gastropub from 4 until the party stops. Come on by, have a drink, and you can meet our executive director and speak with her and learn more about Spay Neuter Network, the things we do, and the things that you can do to help. And it's always nice at the end of the day to have a cold one and have a chance to unwind and meet some great people. So that will be tomorrow, our Paws and Pints event at Nova Gastropub. So I have a couple of questions that have come in ahead of time before this event. So let's go ahead and talk about those for a few minutes. One of the questions regards the litter that is marketed to be able to tell you how your cat's urinary health is. So this is a special litter that you use, and depending on changes in your cat's urinary bladder and in its urine, you will see a color change in that urine that will tell you what's going on. So the way that this works is that the litter is actually measuring the pH, so the acidity level of the urine. Normally, cats will have an acidic urine. So when they go and urinate, that urine will tend to have an acid pH, and you will see whatever it says on the package on the bag for the color change to indicate acidity. That is what you would typically expect to see. However, the pH of a cat is very diet dependent. So if your cat eats something that it doesn't usually eat, it may for a day or two end up with a basic urine, having a basic pH. And then you would see a color change in the urine that would indicate that. So with this litter, it is a great product to kind of track your health, but we shouldn't see one day of a different color and be worried about it. What we're looking for is trends. So if your cat goes and pees and typically you see that acid pH color to the urine, great. And then you have a day or two where you're seeing the basic color, you don't need to worry about that yet. So if it just is for a day or two and then it goes back to the regular acid pH, that's all fine. But if you notice that happening for several days or a week, that would be something that you wanted to get checked out. Now, there is also, with the color changing urine, a color that it will turn if there is blood in the urine. And that would be abnormal. We should not see blood in our cat's urine. So if you are seeing a color change to the urine, to the litter that indicates blood, that will be something that you want to get checked out by your veterinarian, because that indicates that we do have a problem going on. So the litter is great for sort of tracking your cat's urinary health. You don't want to get too excited about one change in pH or two changes in pH. If you see a consistent change, you want to have your cat checked out. If you see blood in the urine, you will want to have your cat checked out. So that is the short story on how that litter works and what you're looking for. We have a question that has come in here. How often can I deworm a cat? It's only indoors. So there's a couple of different answers to this. So definitely you want to deworm your cat at least yearly. If your cat is indoors, it is unlikely that it's going to be exposed to parasites. So when you go and take your pet in for its yearly vaccines, spay neuter network or wherever, you would want to have your pet dewormed that at that time as well. Now, if your cat is on heartworm prevention or flea control, the those products are also a monthly dewormer. So, if you're giving your cat Celerid, one of the topical heartworm flea preventions, you are essentially every month deworming your cat. So you're in great shape there, and there's nothing you need to really be concerned about, and would not have to get that cat dewormed on a yearly basis either because you're doing it every month. All right. Speaking of cats, another question that we had that came in is about cats and hairballs. So, everyone that owns a cat has seen a hairball and has seen the dramatic things the cat does when it's going to cough up or vomit up that hairball. And it just starts coughing and hacking, and its body is rippling, and it looks very uncomfortable and very scary. And then finally, out pops this tubular, hairy wad of gunk that is just really kind of gross looking. And if you're at my house, it usually happens on the sofa or on the bedspread. So, hairballs. Why do they happen? Hairballs occur because cats are self groomers. Cats are licking themselves, cleaning themselves. A cat is a self cleaning animal, unlike a dog. So, that as in the process of doing that, cats have very rough little ridges on their tongues, and that sometimes some of the hair, as they're grooming themselves, will get caught in those little grooves of the tongue, and they swallow it. And that hair then will typically be swallowed, go into the stomach, go through the intestines, and pass out of the kitty when it goes to poop. And that's how that works. Sometimes, though, they ingest enough hair that it accumulates into a little wad in the cat's stomach or in the esophagus. And when that happens, the cat will vomit up that hairball because its body tells it, hey, there's something here that doesn't belong, it needs to get out. So um, every cat is an individual with how this process works and how often it works and how often they do it. Some cats will just like cough once or twice and boom, there's a hairball. Some cats will be uh, uh, looking like they're going to vomit, and they'll run from one spot to the other and keep doing it, and then finally a hairball will show up. Um, so there's really no way. There's no excellent one type fits all cats for how they do this. Other risk factors that can, I shouldn't say risk factors because it's not necessarily a bad thing, but other factors that can influence the amount of hairballs and how often you are seeing hairballs is one, if you have a long haired cat, okay, they have more hair to ingest and longer pieces of hair to ingest. So they are going to tend to have hairballs more often. And then during the spring and summer months, when it's starting to get warm outside, cats will start to shed their winter coats. So when they are shedding more, as they groom themselves, they will also be ingesting more hair. One of the things that you can do to help reduce the frequency of hairballs is to brush your cat on a regular basis. As you brush your cat, you'll be removing all of that dead hair and dead undercoat, and the cat then does not have the opportunity to swallow that because you've already taken care of it. Some cats love to be brushed and groomed. Some cats hate it and will run away. And some cats will let them brush them like 3 times before they turn around and bite. So, because they are cats. I have one cat that will let me brush it all day long. And I have one cat that is more than happy for me to brush it 3 times. And then I better watch my hand because I'm about to get nipped and it's done getting brushed. Off it goes. So, but if your cat likes to be brushed, that's a great thing that you can do. You would want to be concerned about your cat vomiting hairballs if they tried and tried and tried, but were unsuccessful in ever having a hairball come up. That can indicate that they have an obstruction or a hairball that is too big for them to pass. The and it also could indicate that they don't have a problem with hairballs at all, but they have some type of a gastrointestinal issue that's causing them to feel that need to vomit. So, if your cat looks like it's trying to have a hairball but doesn't, that would be a cause for concern. And if your cat is having hairballs every day or several times a day, that will be a concern as well. So you would want to have your pet looked at by a veterinarian for that. There are some simple things to do if your cat is otherwise fine but just has a very frequent hairball issue. One of those things that we might do is to prescribe a cat laxative um, that will kind of lube up their intestinal tract. It helps those hairballs to pass through instead of accumulating in their stomach. Another thing that you can do is there are specific diets made for hairball control, and they work because they tend to be higher fiber and will push the hair through better than a standard cat food would. So those are two simple ways that you can address that issue. But hairballs are a part of life and a part of owning cats, and you're going to see that from time to time. All right. Let's talk about some Halloween safety tips while we are waiting to see if we have any other questions coming in. Make sure I'm still on. Yes, there I am. Okay. All right. So, one of the things that is really important is to always have your pet microchipped, and an ID tag as well is a great thing to have year round because you never know when a pet is going to get lost. We had a really pretty Belgian Malinois roaming around our neighborhood a few months ago, and it was friendly. It came right up to us, so right up to me. So I had him jump in the car, and I took him over and had him scan for a microchip, and sure enough, he had one. And when I contacted the owner that I had his dog, he had no idea that his dog had gotten out of the yard. Had no idea when it had happened or that it had happened. So he was very happy that his dog had been microchipped because it allowed us to locate him and get his pretty Belgian Malinois back to him. Like I said earlier, you're going to be opening and you're closing your doors a lot on Halloween night, and we don't want that sneaky cat or that excited dog to race out and be out into the nighttime on Halloween night. Lots of traffic, lots of people. That is a recipe for problems. So we're going to keep them contained in the house, but if they do get loose, we want to have a way to identify them. And the best way to do that is to have them be microchipped. Again, I would say that people like to do bad things to animals, especially black cats. So, Halloween night, we are going to keep our pets inside. Now, the thing that many people are really excited about on Halloween, of course, is all of the candy. We'll have a big candy bowl that we're going to be passing out, and then if you have little ones, they're going to have bags full of candy. And it is important to remember that human candy, dogs may love it, but a lot of it is very harmful to them. Chocolate, in particular, especially dark chocolate, is toxic to our dogs. If you have candy that is sweetened with a product called xylitol instead of with sugar, xylitol is a dangerous and toxic chemical for our dogs and our cats. And candy tends to come in very cool looking, crinkly little wrappers, and cats would like to play with that, and they might try to eat that. So not only may they eat the candy, but then they might also get a bunch of wrappers stuck in their stomach and have a foreign body that needs to be taken care of because of that. Let's see here. Here is a question. I do a lot of TNR, so trap, neuter, release. I have a few to trap at a vacant home. I cannot leave the trap for a long period. What would you suggest to do something that will entice them? They are trap smart. Yeah, that is a challenge, right? Because those cats, they are smart, and so what we want to do is give them something irresistible, and that they are going to go in there to get. So I have always recommended the stinkiest, smelliest canned food that I can find to put in there, and that will hopefully be something that they cannot resist and are willing to go into the trap to get. There's no guarantee of that. They are, if they are wary of the trap, they're going to be hard to trap. But if we can get something in there that they think is going to be just irresistible, that would be my recommendation for that. Okay. Other things that we want to watch out for are Halloween decorations. We decorate a lot at our house, and that means that we have a lot of things that pets can knock over, a lot of things that they could potentially eat, a lot of electrical cords that are around that we don't want them to chew on and electrocute themselves. So be cognizant of your decorations. Make sure that you have any decorations with a string or a cord, that it's in a place where a curious kitten is not going to get itself caught and tangled up in it and potentially choke to death on it. We also want to make sure that we are keeping any electrical wires and cords out of reach of our pets. An electrical shock to an animal is a bad thing. It causes serious burns and can certainly cause them to die. So we don't want them to have any reason to be interested in anything like that. Okay, finally, the thing I would like to touch on is that some people love to dress up their pets for Halloween. They think it's great. They think it's cute, but there are some things that we need to make sure of our pets and the costumes before Halloween night. So, number one is, if you are going to get a costume for them, make sure that you try it on before Halloween night. So, things are already going to be busy and crazy that night. So, let's make sure that they are comfortable in that costume and it doesn't just totally freak them out before there's even more stress involved with things. Any costumes that our pets wear should not constrict any part of their body. They should not be too tight. They should not have any trouble moving in them, and they should not have any trouble breathing or barking or meowing with them. Um, a good rule of thumb is that with anything that goes around your pet in any part of their body, you should be able to easily slip two fingers between the tie and the pet, and that's a good rule of thumb to make sure that things are not too tight. If we have costumes that have a lot of strings, a lot of dangles on them, or just are very involved, remember, dogs and cats love to get themselves hung up on things. So coffee tables, chairs, trees. So we want to make sure that our costume is does not have a lot of loose items that are going to get that animal stuck when it is roaming around and trying to have some Halloween fun with you. Finally, we want to make sure that we have a costume that our dogs and our cats are not more interested in eating than they are in wearing. So if there's a part of that costume where the pet is able to scratch at it or chew at it, get its mouth on there. We don't want them to eat that costume because that can create a linear foreign body, which is a surgical emergency when that happens. So, um, all of that is to say that those costumes are cute, but I think you need to have a pet that is going to be happy with that. Not all pets are, and that we make sure that we have done our troubleshooting and due diligence that that costume is a safe thing for our pet to wear. Um, an alternative is always to just let them be their regular animal selves, or to wear a Halloween bandana, and then they're in the festive mood, and they're not going to get themselves in any sort of trouble or anything like that. Okay, so recapping some of the things that we have going on. October is Pet Wellness Month, and as part of Pet Wellness Month, we are going to be giving $5 off of our rabies vaccines in all of our hospitals, so in all of our clinics. So this is a great time to get that done if you have not gotten it done and your pet is due. Remember, rabies is the one vaccine that's required by law, so we always want our pets to be current on that, and it also protects them from getting rabies, which is always a problem, especially here in Texas, where we have coyotes and raccoons and bats, and all of those are big rabies vectors. So we want to make sure that our pets are always protected. Speaking of vaccines, we've got vaccine clinics coming up this month where we will be giving away the FVRCP vaccine and the dog distemper parvo vaccine for free. The dates, we have dates for those in Fort Worth, Dallas, and in San Antonio. Check our website at spayneuternet.org to see exactly when those are going to happen. Tomorrow, I know it's short notice, but tomorrow, October 3 at 4 p.m., we have our monthly Paws and Pints event. This time it's at Nova Gastropub. Our executive director will be there, and it's a great chance to go out there, enjoy a drink, and learn more about Spay Neuter Network and the things that we do to help our community and help pets and pet owners. Speaking of being able to help pets and pet owners, we need volunteers. And you can easily apply to be a volunteer on our website. Go to our website, spayneuternet.org, and click on the volunteer button. We have need for volunteers in our clinics to help us get through the day of all of the pets that we see to spay and neuter and to vaccinate. We have a need for volunteers when we do our vaccine clinics because we have a lot of animals that show up for those, and that is fantastic. And the more help that we have, the more efficient we are able to be, and the more animals we are able to vaccinate on those days. We have whenever we have big special events, those always require extra people to help us to get things done. So if you're interested in helping Spay Neuter Network and you believe in what our mission is, and you are interested in a way to give back to your community, and you get to see puppies and kitties and dogs and cats all day long, those are all great ways that you can help us. So please, if you would like to volunteer, we welcome you aboard. I hope that everybody has a great month. I'm so happy that it's starting to get a little bit cooler outside. Not quite yet here in San Antonio, at least during the daytime. But as it gets cooler, we humans will be able to enjoy more time outdoors, and so will our pets. Right now, the heat is still a lot. We don't want to have our pets outside for an excessive period of time. And when they are outside, we want to make sure that they always have access to fresh water, um, and can drink as much as they want when they're outdoors. When it's up in the 90s, I recommend that our pets spend about 20 minutes outside before they come in and have a chance to cool back off. And that is especially important if you own a brachycephalic dog. So those dogs that have the cute little punched in faces, Frenchies, bulldogs, Shih Tzus, pugs, all of those kinds of dogs. They are already behind the eight ball when it comes to being able to breathe, and pant and cool themselves off. So we want to make sure that they are that they do not get themselves overheated. It has been great seeing all of you today and talking with you, and I hope that we've provided you with some useful information and things to go on through, go to take you through the rest of the month. And we will be back here the first Wednesday in November to talk about all of the things that we have going on for the month of Thanksgiving and in November and in the fall. Everybody have a great day and a great week, and we will talk with you next month. Bye bye.